Hello all. So we are here into the last chapter. Last unit, human communities and the environment. Most probably, I'll be completing this unit with this video on itself, with this video lecture itself. Okay. So human communities and the environment. The right to defend human rights, including environmental rights, is affirmed in the Declaration on Human Rights Defenders. Environmental rights are also enshrined in various international treaties and agreements that refer back to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights signed in 1948. Okay, you can mark this diagram. Major ways in which humans have altered natural systems to meet our growing population's resource needs. Natural capital degradation, altering nature to meet our needs. Reduction of biodiversity, increasing use of Earth's net primary productivity. We have discussed all these terminologies in our last units. I won't be explaining them again and again, okay? Increasing genetic resistance of pest species and disease-causing bacteria, elimination of many natural predators, introduction of potentially harmful species into communities, using some renewable resources faster than they can be replenished, interfering with the Earth's chemical cycling and energy flow processes, relying mostly on polluting and climate-changing fossil fuels. Next is carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases produced to directly and indirectly by human activities, usually expressed in equivalent tons of carbon dioxide. Okay, so there will be practicals based on the concept of carbon footprint as well. Footprint calculators are available in the internet, so the practicals will be based on that mainly. Okay, so carbon dioxide, we know it is a greenhouse gas which traps heat and increases the temperature. So what should we do to reduce the carbon footprint? Turn down your home thermostat, solar panels to heat your water, better insulation for your home, use a fan to circulate the air, ride your bike to work or school, drive a hybrid car or smaller car, take public transport, buy local produce, not the exotic varieties but local produce, meatless Mondays, recycle and compost in the kitchen, buy less stuff, reuse stuff, 3 R's. Okay, not this picture. Resettlement and rehabilitation. We have studied many environmental activists and activistic programs. Dhanpada Bashava Andolan, the problems related to rehabilitation, resettlement and everything. That comes here. Then problems and concerns. So economic development raises the quality and standard of living. Development, it will lead to developmental projects, benefits the society. That leads to process of development, which have this over exploitation of natural resources and degradation of the environment. This process of development, that is construction of dam, is an example for that. That leads to the displacement of native people. Tremendous economic and psychological distress, socio-economic and ecological base of the local community is disturbed because of this reason. So let's study them. Like displacement problems due to dams. They create more serious socio-economic impacts. The people there lost their ancestral home. They lost their traditional profession. More than 20 million people are estimated to have been directly or indirectly affected by dams. Hirakund Dam displaced more than 20,000 people residing in about 250 villages. Bakranangal Dam was constructed in 1950s and till now it has not been possible to rehabilitate even half of the displaced persons. The same problem arose for Tehri Dam in the river Bhagirathi. Noted activist Sundarlal Bahuguna, the propagator of Chipko movement for more than 3 decades. Then Sardar Sarovar project. Then displacement due to mining. It is another development activity which caused displacement of the native people. The mining mining is very much in a vulnerable zone. Sometimes accidents such as subsidence of land that often leads to shifting of people. Jaria coalfields in Jharkhand. These case studies have to be referred, okay? Then displacement due to creation of national parks. Case studies that you need to refer here is Valmiki Tiger Reserve in Bihar and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala. So the national park or biosphere reserve are some good steps for conservation of natural resources. However, the social aspect associated with it, which is often neglected. The major portion of the forest is declared as core area where the entry of local dwellers or tribals are prohibited. So this is the core area. Therefore, the problem of retaliation gets started at this place. Hence, the problem should be considered and provide them some employment. Then rehabilitation issues. The UN Universal Declaration on Human Rights has declared that right to housing is a basic human right. Land Acquisition Act 1894, okay, bill empowers government to serve notice to the people to vacate their lands if there is a need as per government planning. The Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Bill was passed by the Parliament in 2013 and it came into effect on January 1, 2014. The new proposed law replaces over a century-old Land Acquisition Act of 1894, which has various shortcomings. It has no resettlement and rehabilitation provisions for those displaced by the land acquisition and provides low rates of compensation to the landowners. Here it is explained, you can refer. Some major displacement and rehabilitation issues are as follows. Poor tribals family become more poor, impoverishment. Then breakup of families, tribals are not familiar with market policies and trends. When they come to towns, they get alienated. The accusation laws ignore the communal ownership of the property. Kinship systems, marriages, social and functions, their folk songs, dances, activities vanish with their displacement. Loss of identity and loss of the intimate link between the people and the environment is one of the biggest loss. Then rehabilitation policy. There is a need for the comprehensive national rehabilitation policy. We need to raise public awareness of these issues. This is about the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013. It can be asked for the exam. Note them down. Okay. Next is environmental movements in India. These are really important. Short essays can come from this part. One is Bishnoi movement. Okay. Bishnoi movement was begun 400 years ago by a sage known as Sombhaji in Rajasthan. A large number of trees were still worshipped by devotees. People resisted the cutting of such trees and advocated movement against deforestation. Then Chipko movement, Sundarlal Bahuguna, 1970, to safeguard the rich forest of Western Himalaya range in Uttaranchal. The tree hugging campaign happened. Then Silent Valley movement. It is in Palakkad district of Kerala. It was because of the hydroelectric project to protect the Silent Valley and evergreen tropical forest here. Then Apico movement, an innovative movement based on environmental conservation. It was focused on the issues of forest-based environmental actions in India. Then Narmada Bachao Andolan in the late 1970s. Medha Patkar led it. On the human right and rehabilitation issues of dam brought by the dams. Okay, you can read them. You can note them. This is on the Bishnoi movement. Okay. After the movement, Maharaja designated the Bishnoi state as a protected area, forbidding harm to trees and animals. This legislation still exists today in this region. Okay. Then Chipko movement. The year 1973, Chamoli district and later at Tehri Garhwal district of Uttarakhand. Leaders' names are given here. The main objective was to protect the trees on the Himalayan slopes from access of contractors of the forest. So the women of Advani village of Theri Garhwal tied the sacred thread around trunks of trees and they hugged the trees. That is Hug the Tree movement, Chipko movement. The main demand of the people in those protests was that the benefits of the forest should go to the local people. Chipko movement gathered momentum in 1978 when the women faced police firings and other tortures. Then State Chief Minister Hemwadi Nandan Bhoguna set up a committee to look into the matter, which eventually ruled in favor of the villagers. This became a turning point in the history of eco-development struggles in the region and around the world. This is Silent Valley movement. In the year 1978, the Kerala State Electricity Board proposed a hydroelectric dam across the Kundipura river that runs through Silent Valley. In February 1973, the Planning Commission approved the project at a cost of 25 crores. Many feared that the project would submerge 8.3 square kilometer of untouched moist evergreen forest. Several NGOs strongly opposed the project and urged the government to abandon it. In January 1981, bowing to unrelenting public pressure, Indira Gandhi declared that Silent Valley will be protected. In June 1983, the center re-examined the issue through a commission chaired by Professor M.G.K. Menon. In November 1983, the Silent Valley hydroelectric project was called off, and in 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi formally inaugurated the Silent Valley National Park. Leaders, the Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad. It is an NGO, and the poet activist Sugata Kumari played an important role in the Silent Valley protest. Next is Apiko movement. 1983, Uttara Kannada and Shimoga districts of Karnataka state. Okay. So here it is locally, this movement is known as, so this is the southern version of Chipko movement, locally known as Apiko Chaluvali. The locals embraced the trees which were to be cut by contractors of the forest department. Apiko movement used various techniques to raise awareness, such as foot marches in the interior forest. The slide shows folk dances, street plays, etc. Example, okay. The second area of the movement's work was to promote afforestation on denuded lands. The movement later focused on the rational use of ecosphere through introducing alternative energy resource to reduce pressure on the forest. The movement became a success. The current status of the project is stopped. Okay. Then Narmada Bachao Andolan. So this we have discussed in several units. I'm not going to discuss it again. The basics we know. People who are displaced by the construction of Sardar Sarovar Dam, they didn't get their justice. They didn't get the justice. So it was approached in 2000. A court approach was done. Okay. Then the project is expected to be fully completed in 2025. Like, it didn't had that what to say, expected justice was not yet, driven there. Okay. So next is National Green Tribunal Act. Okay. So this is in 2010, is an act of the Parliament of India which enables creation of a special tribunal or body to handle the efficient disposal of the cases related to environmental issues. It is inspired from India's constitutional provision of Article 21, which assures the citizens of India the right to a healthy environment. The Act aims at efficient solving of cases related to environmental pollution and giving relief and compensation for damages to persons and property and for matters connected therewith. Initially, the National Green Tribunal is proposed to be set up at 5 places of sittings and will follow circuit procedure for making itself more accessible. New Delhi, principal place, then Bhopal, Pune, Calcutta, Allahabad and Chennai. There lie many reasons behind the setting up of this tribunal. After India's move with carbon credits, such a tribunal may play a vital role in ensuring the control of emissions and maintaining the desired levels. This is the first body of its kind that is required by its parent statute to apply the polluter pays principle and the principle of sustainable development. The tribunal is mandated to make an endeavor for disposal of applications or appeals finally within 6 months of filing. New Delhi is the principal place of sitting of the tribunal. This court is special because India is the third country following Australia and New Zealand to have such system. During the Rio de Janeiro summit of UNCED in 1992 Earth Summit, India vowed the participating states to provide judicial and administrative remedies for the victims of the pollutants and other environmental damage. It is a specialized body equipped with necessary expertise to handle environment disputes involving multidisciplinary issues. Tribunal provides relief and compensation to the victims of pollution and other environment damage for restitution of property damaged. Okay, so that's it. I was in a hurry, I know that, but there is nothing much to explain there, that's why you can note down them. So we are done with all the units of EVS AEC paper. Next we will be discussing the previous year question papers. Till then, happy learning.